the boy who dreamed of conquering the world. History has witnessed countless kings, fearless warriors, and powerful empires. Many ruled vast lands. Many won glorious battles. But only a handful changed the course of civilization forever. Among them stood one extraordinary man, a young king who, before reaching the age of 30, defeated the greatest empire on earth, marched farther than any Greek ruler before him, and built an empire stretching across 3 continents. He was feared by his enemies, admired by his soldiers, and remembered for more than 2,000 years. His name was Alexander the Great. But greatness is never born overnight. Long before the world knew him as an undefeated conqueror, Alexander was simply a prince living in the rugged kingdom of Macedonia, a land many Greeks looked down upon as uncivilized. No one could have imagined that this young prince would one day shake the foundations of the ancient world. This is the beginning of that incredible journey. Ancient Greece before Alexander. To understand Alexander's story, we must first travel back to the 4th century BC. Ancient Greece was not one united nation. Instead, it was divided into dozens of independent city-states, each with its own government, army, and ambitions. Among them, Athens became famous for philosophy, democracy, literature, and art. Sparta earned its reputation through military discipline and fearless warriors. Thebes also rose as a powerful force during this period. These city-states often united against foreign invaders, but more often they fought one another. Years of endless warfare drained their strength. While the Greeks remained divided, another kingdom quietly grew stronger in the north. That kingdom was Macedonia. Many southern Greeks dismissed Macedonia as backward, but they failed to notice that a remarkable leader had begun transforming it into one of the most powerful military states in the ancient world. His name was King Philip II. King Philip II, the architect of a new power. Philip II was no ordinary king. As a young man, he had lived as a political hostage in Thebes, where he carefully studied the tactics of Greece's finest generals. When he finally became king of Macedonia, he understood that his kingdom needed more than courage. It needed discipline, training, innovation. Philip reorganized the army from top to bottom. He introduced the famous Macedonian phalanx, a tightly packed formation of soldiers armed with the enormous sarissa, a spear nearly 6 meters long. Enemies found it almost impossible to break through this deadly wall of spear points. Philip also strengthened his cavalry, improved military training, and built an army unlike anything Greece had ever seen. Within a few years, Macedonia had become the strongest military power in the region. But Philip's greatest dream was still ahead of him. He wanted to unite all Greece, and then invade the mighty Persian Empire, the birth of Alexander. In 356 BC, inside the royal palace of Pella, the capital of Macedonia, a prince was born. His father was King Philip II. His mother was Queen Olympias. Ancient legends claim that strange signs appeared on the night of Alexander's birth. Some believed lightning struck nearby. Others claimed the famous temple of Artemis burned that same night. Many later interpreted these stories as signs an extraordinary child had entered the world. Whether these legends were true or not, one thing is certain. Alexander grew up believing he was destined for greatness. Olympias, the mother who shaped his destiny. Alexander's mother, Olympias, played a huge role in his childhood. She was deeply religious, fiercely intelligent, and incredibly ambitious. She constantly reminded her son that he was not meant for an ordinary life. Some ancient writers even claimed she told Alexander that his true father was the mighty god Zeus himself. Whether Alexander truly believed these stories remains uncertain, but they certainly strengthened his confidence. Olympias encouraged him to think differently, to believe that impossible goals could become reality. Those beliefs stayed with him for the rest of his life. A boy unlike any other. Even as a child, Alexander showed unusual intelligence. He loved stories about ancient heroes. Among all of them, one inspired him more than anyone else. Achilles, the legendary warrior of the Trojan War. Alexander admired Achilles not only for his courage, but also for his desire to achieve eternal glory. He often imagined himself following the same path, not simply ruling a kingdom, but earning a place in history. His curiosity extended beyond warfare. He enjoyed learning geography, medicine, literature, philosophy, and science. Yet alongside this love of knowledge burned an intense competitive spirit. Alexander hated losing. Whether during games, hunting, or military exercises, he always pushed himself harder than everyone around him. The story of Bucephalus. One event from Alexander's childhood became legendary. A magnificent black horse was brought before King Philip. The animal was enormous, powerful, wild. Every experienced rider who attempted to control it failed. The horse kicked, reared, and threw them off. Philip prepared to send it away. But young Alexander stepped forward. He believed the horse wasn't wild. It was frightened. Alexander noticed something the others had missed. The horse was terrified of its own shadow. He slowly turned it toward the sun, so the shadow disappeared. Speaking softly, he calmed the animal. Then, in one smooth movement, he climbed onto its back. To everyone's amazement, the horse accepted him. Alexander rode confidently across the field while the crowd watched in complete silence. When he returned, King Philip embraced his son and reportedly said, "My son, seek a kingdom equal to your ambitions. Macedonia is too small for you." The horse became known as Bucephalus. It would remain Alexander's loyal companion through countless battles for many years. Learning from Aristotle. When Alexander reached the age of 13, King Philip wanted the greatest teacher in Greece to educate his son. That teacher was Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied literature, ethics, politics, medicine, geography, biology, astronomy, and philosophy. He developed a lifelong passion for learning. Aristotle introduced him to the works of Homer. Father believed that future kings must also become soldiers. So Alexander trained alongside experienced warriors. He learned swordsmanship, horse riding, archery, battle formations, leadership, military strategy. He accompanied Philip during campaigns and witnessed real warfare at a young age. By 16, Alexander was already trusted with serious responsibilities. When Philip left Macedonia on campaign, Alexander served as regent, effectively ruling the kingdom in his father's absence. During this time, a local tribe rebelled. Rather than waiting for Philip to return, Alexander gathered an army. He crushed the rebellion, captured their stronghold, and even founded a new settlement. It was his first independent military success. The young prince had proven he could command both soldiers and a kingdom, father and son. Despite their many successes together, the relationship between Philip and Alexander became increasingly complicated. Both were brilliant. Both were ambitious. Both possessed strong personalities. Philip's victories made Macedonia powerful. Alexander dreamed of taking that power even further. Political tensions inside the royal family soon made matters worse. Philip married another noblewoman. Questions arose about who would inherit the throne. Arguments divided the royal court. Trust slowly disappeared. Neither father nor son realized that events were moving toward a dramatic turning point, one that would change history forever. Ending. King Philip had finally united most of Greece under his leadership. His long-awaited invasion of the Persian Empire was almost ready to begin. The army was prepared. The strategy was complete. The greatest military campaign of the age seemed only days away. Then, during a grand celebration attended by nobles, soldiers, and foreign ambassadors, King Philip II was suddenly attacked. Within moments, the ruler who had built Macedonia into a superpower lay dead. His assassination shocked the entire Greek world. The throne now stood empty. Many believed the kingdom would collapse into civil war. Powerful enemies surrounded Macedonia. Rival claimants waited for their opportunity. Greek city-states prepared to rebel. Foreign kings watched carefully. At just 20 years old, Alexander stepped forward to claim the crown. Most believed the young king would never survive. They had no idea. They were about to witness the rise of one of history's greatest conquerors. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the playlist for the next part of the story. And if you're passionate about history, legendary heroes, and epic battles, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.